Good morning, Mr. Speaker. In my 11 years up here, we've done a lot of great things together on this side of the island, our friends across the island. My biggest frustration has been how this legislature has reacted to the Great Recession and the decisions we've made. And unfortunately, bills like this, at times like this, don't help it. We heard all night long from people who have small businesses. I had a small business, but since I've been up here, I do business tours every year. And one of the things I ask the people in my district is about the minimum wage, because it's always coming back. And with the exception of two out of probably a couple dozen, it hurts them. As we've heard from Representative Camillo, if you're a small business in Connecticut, you have to compete with larger businesses who can absorb this cost. That's why the bigger companies are for it, raising it at this rate and at this time. So if that small deli owner or diner owner or restaurant has to keep up with this, they really can't raise their prices because they're going to lose out to the bigger businesses. We see that all the time, and we've been begged by constituents in our districts. I get emails and calls weekly on this, begging us not to do this at this time with all the mandates coming down. And I firmly believe that this, being in opposition to this, is not being anti-worker at all. In fact, this is just as much for the workers as it is for the small businesses and the towns and the nonprofits. Because what happens is when these small businesses are seeing their profit margins decrease, these are the job creators, and when they're seeing their margins decrease, what are they going to do? They're going to decrease the hours for the workers, or they're going to lay them off. That's the last thing we want or we need. Again, we are next to last and have been for a decade, yet we continue to put bills forward like this. It almost gets embarrassing, Mr. Speaker. It really is, because we go back and we sound like broken records. I've heard arguments back and forth. I heard Representative De La Cruz this morning, and I agreed with him when he said that this is the way things are going with automation. We can't stop that. But a bill like this, increasing the minimum wage, as we heard Representative Camillo say, it makes it easier for them to go to that decision for automation and to decrease jobs. So some have taken to social media in the last few hours and talked in this building and talked about a filibuster. I don't think it's a filibuster to stand up for small businesses. I don't think it's a filibuster to stand up for workers. I don't think it's a filibuster to stand up for our towns, and I don't think it's a filibuster to stand up for nonprofits. And if we pass this and go around patting ourselves in the back, and we continue to look at what we've been looking at for the last 8 years and 9 years, then we have no one to blame but ourselves. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.